The final horn sounded, officially putting an end to yet another season of basketball for the St. Bonaventure Bonnies, the latest entry into a basketball program whose history dates all the way back to the turn of the 20th century. The euphoria that you see at St. Bonaventure games today was nothing like that when St. Bonaventure played its first game more than a century ago against the University of Buffalo in 1916 at the Armory Gym in Olean, New York, where Buffalo soundly defeated the upstart St. Bonaventure team 51-18. The reason they played at the Armory Gym instead of on campus was because the building of St. Bonaventure's first real basketball home, Butler Gymnasium, was not completed until 1916, in part because of the shortage of building materials, which at that time were going towards the war. It wasn't until the 1950s that St. Bonaventure started to really make its mark on the college basketball landscape, and they did this under the leadership of Ed Melvin, who transformed St. Bonaventure into becoming more than just a strong regional basketball power. In 1951, St. Bonaventure played in the National Invitational Tournament for the first time, advancing to the second round of play. They were even better the following year in 1952 when they advanced to the national semifinals. Now, success continued under Melvin's successor, Edward Donovan, who led St. Bonaventure to future trips to the NIT tournament, as well as a berth in the upstart NCAA tournament. But the 1970s was truly the pinnacle of success for this Bonnies program, led by All-America center Bob Lanier, who would go on to a Hall of Fame career in the NBA. In 1971, the Bonnies were among the nation's top teams and widely considered one of, if not the biggest threat to perennial basketball power UCLA. However, things did not go quite as planned for St. Bonaventure. Things took a turn for the worse when Bob Lanier suffered a torn ligament in his left knee that prevented him from playing in the Final Four against Jacksonville. Now, the Bonnies put up a good fight, but without Lanier, they just did not have enough, and they just were no match for Jacksonville, nor were they up to task for their consolation opponent, New Mexico State. Still, St. Bonaventure had established itself in the eyes and ears of the nation, and they were on the path to being one of the top teams to be on the lookout for going forward. St. Bonaventure would eventually win its first NIT championship in 1977, stringing together 4 wins that weekend for a total of just 12 points, with no victory being by more than 4 points. Unfortunately, those good times did not last for St. Bonaventure as mounting losses and a basketball scandal rocked the program and left them on the outside looking in when it came to being a basketball power. But the 2010s brought back a resurgence of interest and success for the Bonaventure program. Leading that charge was All-American Andrew Nicholson, who would go on to become Atlantic 10 Player of the Year, as well as a first-round pick of the Orlando Magic in the 2012 NBA Draft. With his play and the play of others that came after him, the Bonnies were back on the map as a team to be reckoned with as the Bonnies emerged as one of the top teams year in, year out in the Atlantic 10 Conference. Those wins and that success opened the doors and paved the way for much of the success that we see today with the St. Bonaventure program, which has been to the postseason each of the last 2 seasons and 3 of the last 4. It's the kind of success that adds to a basketball narrative that has been more than a century in the making.